Hey guys, welcome to our daily encounter. In Romans chapter 13 and verse 12, it says, "The night is almost gone, and the day is at hand. Therefore let us lay aside the deeds of darkness and put on the armor of light." I like here that the Apostle Paul recognizes that the night is almost gone, that the darkness is almost gone, and the day is at hand. In other words, we live in a time of human history in which there is still darkness. As we look around the world, we can see a lot of darkness. There's still a lot of evil. There's still a lot of things that are amiss, things that are, of course, far from perfect. But yet the day is at hand. That is, there is still hope that God has already started the process by which the day will fully appear. And so we're kind of in that stage of human history in which, yes, there's still darkness, but at the same time, God has already brought about the day to a certain extent. That is, through the resurrection of Christ, through the salvation we have in Jesus Christ, the day is beginning to spring. And the darkness eventually will fade away and into the full brightness of the day and the resurrection day, the day in which God will make all things new. But for now, we're in the in-between state where we still live in still live in a world where there is darkness. There is a world in which there is still sorrow and sickness and hardships and trials. There's still a lot of darkness, but we look ahead to the fact that God is one day going to bring the full brightness of the day in which all things will be brought to light. His promises will be fully fulfilled, and we will live in the resurrection with him forever. And so the Apostle Paul is encouraging us to not look backwards and not to continue in the deeds of darkness, but that the Lord is calling us to look ahead to the bright, shining day that is before us, and to put on the armor of light, to live in the resurrection life, even though there's still darkness around us, even though there's still those elements of the world around us. We are to look ahead to the bright day, the bright resurrection day in which the Lord will make all things new. And that's where we should have our heart. That's where we should be fixing our eyes. And that's the realm in which we should be living, with the hope, with the anticipation of the full day coming. And so we are to put aside those deeds of darkness and now to look ahead to the bright shining of the day that God has purposed for us in Jesus Christ. And so we should begin to live today as though we have this hope, and we do have this hope in our hearts, and living out in full resurrection life before the Lord, trusting in him, relying upon him, but also living a life of holiness and righteousness before him, so that we can show this dark world what it means to be bright with the light of God. And so hopefully today's reading will help us and encourage us to do that. And with that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.